Good morning, guys. Ooh. It's like a little after 8. Got up late this morning. Anyway, I don't know what to talk about. Just sitting here, gonna crochet. Ooh, it's nice out. It's like in the 60s right now. But, anyway. I just figured I'd come out here this morning and crochet on this. Randy and I pulled all the cucumber plants yesterday out of the garage, because that's where we keep our cucumbers. It's where we were growing them. No, out of the garden. And and we pulled up the beans, the dragon beans. Anyway, got pulled all the vegetables off those. Yeah, so today later on, I have to go through all the beans, prep all the beans that we're going to eat, and then get the beans that we're going to take seed out of. So we have seed for the next season. That's hot. Anyway, the other day I made soup, and I have a burn on the roof of my mouth because I had made vegetable soup, and I was tasting it. It was too hot. Took a bite of it, and I had a blister on the roof of my mouth, because that's a thing. So now, I don't know which is worse, the tongue or the roof of your mouth. I hate having a burnt tongue. Ooh. It messes up with everything. Anyway, I had to see where I was at. This is how my quarter to corner is going. This is where I'm at. So now I'm at the next color. Switch to the next color on my Wheel o' Doom here. I don't know what's next. I can't tell if that's blue next or orange. I don't know which color is actually next coming up. But that's what we got going on here. Is that rust? I hope not. What is that? I don't even know. Anywho. Oh, gosh. I don't know what I did last night in my sleep. I feel like I'm so stiff. I don't know what I did, where I went in my sleep. I feel like that I did a lot of work in my sleep, apparently. So, I have to get this off my chest, because this happened yesterday, day before. Anyway, actually this kind of happened, it started out Monday. My kids left Sunday. My boys went home Sunday night. And they left here late because they were cutting wood and stuff here. So on Sunday they left and they got home late. So anyway, my youngest son, he has been with this woman for 7, 8 years, something like that. They planned on getting married and all this good stuff. But anyway, they didn't. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Jesus, for the blessing of that. But anyway, they had started a family together. They have 2 children now. Anyway, just a smidgen of her backstory. My grandkids are her fourth and fifth children. So she has 5 children total. She has given birth 5 times. There we go. Live children 5 times. Okay. And her first 2 children she had with a man that she was going to get married to and all this stuff. But he left her and then went after the kids and got custody of them. She was proven an unfit mother, and they took her kids away. So then she had another child with some other man and gave that one up for adoption. And then not long after that, she met my son. I mean, it was like, boom. She just went da-da-da-da. But anyway, apparently this is her MO. But anyway, so my son really tried to make it work with her. Really did. I mean, he sacrificed a lot. I mean, he like put his whole family on the back burner. All kinds of stuff. It was crazy to try to appease her. And, yeah, just that whole thing. So we're going to fast forward to Monday, this last Monday. So they come home Sunday night, late Sunday night. Monday morning, he gets up and he takes a real good look at the place that he's, his place, their place, whatever. And he left Friday late afternoon and went home Sunday, early Monday morning. There you go. Anyway, so he gets up and he's assessing the situation, and it looks like a frat party had happened in the house. That's the only way I can describe it. There was muffin pans full of muffin batter, bowls with muffin batter. There was a mixing bowl with mop water in it, with a dirty old mop in it, just sitting on the floor. Dishes in both sinks piled up. Food everywhere. Pizza boxes, McDonald's stuff, paper bags and stuff, Taco Bell wrappers and bags everywhere. Soda pop or bottles of pop bottles, empty one, in the cushions of the couch, all over the couch. Yeah, it was insane. My son was like freaking out. He's like, Mom, I don't know what the heck. He goes, I don't know what to think of this. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't know what to tell you. I go, what'd they do? Now, mind you, while he was gone, the mother of his children, well, his roommate at this point, they're not together anymore, but they still are on a lease together till December. God help it. I would pray for him. Oh my goodness. But anyway, she's moved a friend in who her and the fridge sleep on the couch together that my son pays for. The girl is not on the lease at all. So the girlfriend, my son's girlfriend, I'm going to say girlfriend, my son's ex, okay, there we go. She gets to see her kids every other weekend. If she goes and gets them, she gets to see them. But, so over the weekend, it was her 2 kids from her prior, her friend, and then my son's 2 children. So there's 6 people in the house that are living in, that are there. Those 6 people thrashed this place Friday night, Saturday, and apparently Sunday too. But anyway, thrashed it. Well, then fast forward to Monday evening, late afternoon, when this girl gets home from work, and she walks in the door, and my son says, she walks in the door and looks around and sees that the house hasn't been cleaned or anything. And she goes, "What, you've been home all day long and you didn't even try to clean the house?" And my son's like, "Whoa, I've been gone all weekend and this is what you did to it?" He goes, "You didn't clean up after yourself all weekend?" And she's like, "I think that we should all start pitching in and trying to make things clean around here." My son's just floored. I mean, he's just like, he is hella more kind than I am. I'm just gonna put it to you that way. If that would have been said to me, you would have heard an explosion. You would have thought World War III just started somewhere, because you'd heard the shockwave of complete anger that would have came out of me. My son was just like, And when she said that, he was just like, "Okay," and he walks away. I couldn't do it. There's no way I could do it. There's no way. But anyway, so yesterday, this has been on all week. He can't talk to me. Normally he calls me like every day and lets me listen to my grandson. My grandson's nonverbal autistic, and he's like, "Oh, he learned a new word today, and he can say this. Like, he can say bubble, dad. He can say hello. He says wow. He's starting to say words. My son's been working with him a lot. My son has been working with him a lot. The mother, no. She doesn't even understand anything. And my irritation is, she has given birth to 5 children, and every single time she acts like she doesn't understand how kids work. When she was pregnant with my granddaughter, she was freaking out. She's like, "I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid. I mean, I hope that your son can come. That he can." She was hoping my son could be in the birthing, that he'll be able to be there, because she doesn't know what to do. She's scared to give birth alone. Baby girl, you've had 3 kids before this child that you're about to have birth with, And she did the same thing with my grandson. Yeah. She acted like she'd never had a baby before. She did TikTok videos. I mean, it was crazy. Just insanity, dude. What? But anyway, this chick, whew, wow. She's a piece, let me tell you. And I'm going to tell you this, but here's the kicker. Keep this in mind. This chick's going to school to be a psychologist. Oh, wow. Anyway, but what kills me is she was telling my son that he gaslights. You did nothing but gaslight. Gaslight? My son isn't a gaslighter, but she is. Wow. Anyway, so we'll go past that. But anyway, so he told me, he goes, "I can't call you." He usually calls me, like I said, every morning. Like right now, we would normally be on a phone call together, or a little bit later today, he'll be on a phone call together after their breakfast and stuff, because it's kind of pretty chaotic there in the morning. But anyway, but he can't, because there's this freeloading chicka stroll up in there that his girlfriend has brought into the house, that just sofa surfing, and I'm heavy. This girl's bigger than me, okay? And I ain't got nothing about that, but I do have about this. She's sleeping on the sofa, okay? It's one of them L-shaped sectionals, with the ottoman, like the chair with the okay. It's not built for sleeping. It's a sofa, not a sleeper. It's not a bed. And there's 2 people sleeping on it every damn night. And my son's paying for this. I told him, I said, just let him take it back and then get you a lawn chair or something. Because, they can sit on the kitchen chairs. And they can sleep on the damn floor, I guess. I don't know. But, okay, so my son was gone all weekend. Now his girlfriend has 2 cats. my son does not care for, I mean, he likes cats, okay, but he doesn't want cats. Cats are way more work than he wants to deal with. You have to constantly change litter pans, the food, the water, the whole nine. He doesn't want all that. He don't have to deal with all that stuff. He doesn't have the money for vet bills. He says I can't afford an animal. That's how come I had his border collie, Bub, because he just couldn't afford it. You know, he goes, Mom, I can't afford a vet bill, you know, and they need shots and taken care of. Well, same with cats. That's why my kids don't have pets, because they don't want to spend the money on an animal. You know, they have kids and they have things they want to go do. And I don't fret them that at all. But this girl, oh my gosh, she has to have a cat. Okay, he said, I don't want a cat. Well, then he comes home from work and there's a damn cat in the house. Oh, flea infested at that. And so they had to go through that whole shenanigans. But he said, well, now that it's here, because my son's a softie, now that it's here, it's your responsibility to keep the cat litter picked up and cleaned up. And I want it clean every day. I don't want to smell it at all. I don't want cat litter smell at all. So, oh yeah, baby, oh babe, thanks, babe. She calls him out, babe. Thanks, babe. You know, I love you, babe. You're a sweet babe. She did for like 3 days. She kept the cat litter picked up, cleaned up. And then, nah. And then, my son likes a very organized and clean place. He likes his place to look good and presentable and, you know, comfortable for company, you know, all the stuff. Not a normal bachelor kind of guy. Neither of my children are. Not actually. 3 of the 4 boys are very particular about their house. So, but anyway, she moves in and turns it into a slum, like within months. And I went to visit, and I started cleaning because I was like, this is not my son's house. This is crazy. So I started cleaning. I mean, like wiping walls down, y'all, because there was stuff on the walls. Wiping the doorknob and around the doorknob, wash the door, cleaning the patio doors because it looked like somebody vomited on them because there's so many handprints and stuff. It was disgusting. It was gross. Cleaned all the windows. Just, you know, ick. Oh, and just ick. And because she wasn't working at the time. She was home all day. So, but I came in, and she was going to go visit with her mom. When she came home, her apartment was, like, clean. She got pissed, told Cody, my son, to tell me to leave because I was insulting her, that I was trying to one-up her. Bitch, I don't care about you. You can incubate all the grandbabies you want. I don't care about you. I do not care. You are garbage. Oh my God. Now, in the beginning, I tried to accept her. And I tried to be kind to her. When I found out she lost her first two kids to being unfit, that blew my mind. And I told my son, I go, that is a huge red flag. And, you know, you may not want to have kids with her. Yeah, I don't think this is somebody you need to settle down with. I go, but I could be wrong, you know, so I'm going to give benefit of the doubt, but don't plan nothing long-term with her, please. You know, let's just keep this on the even keel until we know really what's going on. Okay, well, to him, I guess she played well. Not to me. I saw red flags. My mom saw it, my dad, my brother, my husband, my other kids, you know, all these people. They're like, you know, no. But she ended up pregnant. And, yeah, so when I went out to visit, she wanted me to leave. I mean, she had posted on Facebook that she sprung clean the house. Or not spring clean the house, but she was nesting. Well, I went there the very next day. Like, I was the product to go there the next day. She had put on Facebook, I'm nesting. My gosh, I've never seen my place this clean. I pulled the refrigerator out and cleaned behind it. Oh my God. So I went there the very next day. The very next day. That's when I was supposed to be there. And I got there, and to say that I don't know what kind of nesting she did is another statement. I don't know what refrigerator she pulled out. I don't know if it was her daughter's Barbie fridge or what. I don't know. Maybe it was in a dream she did it. But I'm going to tell you, God's my witness. I was sticking to the kitchen floor, walking across it. No. No. I don't think so. I don't know what you did. If that's all you... And, no. There was a bunch of crap hidden in closets. It was crazy. You couldn't see the bedroom floor for all the laundry. And who knows if it was clean or dirty. I asked my son, I'm like, how do you know what's clean or dirty? He goes, I don't. I have no idea. But it was terrible. But anyway, he was like, Mom, please just don't. I'm like, I ain't saying a word. So anyway, I just cleaned it. I even bought a vacuum cleaner and a whole niner. I cleaned the house. So anyway, fast forward to now, my son just, she wants to do all this. Well, my son decided he ain't cleaning the house. He ain't doing that. But he is going to wash the dishes that he needs to fix his children food. He's going to wash those dishes, prepare the meal, wash the dishes, put them away. If by whatever grace of God, the dirty dishes that are in the sink or whatever need to be washed for him to use them, they'll get washed and put away. Otherwise, they'll just stay there. And she is still pissed about it, that it isn't getting done. Well, then he finally called me, and he was like, sorry, I haven't been able to call you, but that chick left today. She went to go do something, so I'm able to call you. I'm like, that's cool. He sent me pictures. Oh, he goes, check this out. And he took a picture of my grandson sitting on the couch. And next to him is a jar. A jar. Okay, well, for starters, he's autistic. He's 2, or he just turned 3, sorry. And Monday was his birthday. But he's sitting next to his toy, his Paw Patrol pillow, and this jar, this white and red jar. And he took that picture, and then he made his son get out of the way, and he took another picture, and it's a bottle of moonshine, strawberry shortcake or whatever, moonshine, some kind of strawberry moonshine. Still had moonshine in it, right there on the couch where my grandson could get into it. Just there. He sent me a picture of, because smoking weed in Ohio is legal, a picture of her bong out in the open with her grinders and her weed right there in the open where my grandson and granddaughter could get a hold of it. My granddaughter wouldn't have touched the moonshine thing, but my grandson would have. She'd have brought it to him and said, this is mommy's drink and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, but still, kids, 2 children running around the house with drugs and alcohol to their, they can piss with, you know what I mean? I was like, are you serious? He took pictures of it. He's taking photographs of everything. But anyway, documenting. I told him that you got to document everything. If it isn't documented, it didn't happen. So anyway, but when he did clean the house before he left to come here, when he did clean that place, she was freaking out. Are you going to try to take the kids away from me? Are you going to try to prove me unfit? What are you doing? Do you have somebody come in here to inspect the apartment? What's going on? What's going on? I'm like, wow. And he goes, and she was freaking out. Like, she was afraid. But now it's like a whole nother ball game. Well, while he was looking around the house and looking at things, he found a check hanging on the refrigerator, I think. It was hanging somewhere. I can't remember where, he said. Anyway, it was a canceled check. She had electronically deposited the check. She had already done that. She has recently joined a church. okay, before all this, she started going to church, and she had only been there like 2 Sundays and decided she was going to get baptized. This is where, this to me, as a Christian, this is all very insulting. But anyway, and I feel bad. I mean, I feel bad, yet I don't feel bad for the church that did this for her. I don't understand their mindset on why they felt that after meeting her 2 days, 2 Sundays, 2 days, that she was okay to be baptized. There was no counseling or anything with the minister. Just very strange. Anyway, so, and I don't know, that's just me. But anyway, so she gets baptized, and I there's air quotes there, and you'll find out why. So anyway, she gets baptized and starts going to church, and then out of nowhere decides she wasn't going to go to church anymore. She told my son, she's like, I'm not going to be going to church anymore because I found out I'm not religious, I'm more spiritual. What the does that mean? More spiritual? What? So anyway, you're not religious, you're spiritual. Okay, whatever. Weird. Okay, you just keep studying to be a psychologist. So, and then, now, fast forward through all this, then she started going back to church again. When my son broke up with her, she started going to church again. Because she's going to be a good mom, right? She doesn't want to be considered unfit, so she's going to church again. Well, I know. So anyway, so she started going to church again, and then he comes home and he finds a check, a canceled check, for $400 from this church to her. Okay, so in my head, I'm going, what did she tell this church that gave her $400? Because let me tell you something. She brings home roughly about $500 a week from her job. She gets quite a bit of money of food stamps. How she gets food stamps was bringing home $500 a week. Bringing home, after taxes, about over $500 a week from her job. Yeah, I don't know how that computes. Let's see. So she gets that money from her job. She gets food stamps. And, oh yeah, she's in college, so they send her a monthly stipend check that she uses on her own stuff. She doesn't use it for school. She uses it for whatever she wants. And that's about $400 or so a month. Okay, man, I wish I had that when I was raising 2 kids. When I was single, raising my 2 boys. Wow. So anyway, and a man that takes care of you too. Well, for starters, I wouldn't have sabotaged my relationship with my man. That would be that. But I wouldn't have lost custody of my kids either, because that's weird. But anyway, so she got this check from, and I'm like, what did she tell the church? They gave her $400. Like, what did she tell the church? Did she tell the church she didn't have enough money to pay her rent? She had to have said something to them lines, or did she throw my son under the bus for money? I don't know. But what's really funny is I know what she spends her money on. On stupid shit. Constantly. So anyway, so yesterday, I get this text message from my son. He goes, check this shit out. This is on Kim's bumper of her car. And I'm like, what? He goes, check this shit out. So I look at it, and he takes a picture of her bumper of her car. And on the back of her car, with magnetic bumper stickers, one of them says something about old-time religion, going back to that old-time religion, and it's got a pentagram on it. And the other one says, don't piss off a witch. She just got a $400 check from a church that she got baptized at after she had been there 2 Sundays in a row. And now she's a witch. Wow. 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 like that. I mean, wow. Okay, I don't even know where to begin with this chick. I mean, and when we were trying to help her out and support her like one of our own kids and all the things like that, and I don't mean financially, but help her out, like supporting her, and if she needed anything, we got things for her. Like, she was studying to be a phlebotomist, so she was like, I don't know that. So we made sure she had study material that she wanted, things like that, and index card things, and I would just buy them and have them shipped to her apartment. When she was pregnant, I shipped her stuff for making her feel better, things like that. Supporting her being pregnant, whatever. I'm not saying I did not try to make things okay with her. Trust me, I did everything I could to help accept her and help pave her way that she'd have a nicer. But she don't love herself. She don't care about herself. She just wants what she wants when she wants it, and that's all there is to it. Now, mind you, she's a year older than my son. He was born, I think, 1990. He's 91. You would think she's 12. I'm just saying. I think 12-year-olds are a little bit more mature than she is. She's ridiculous. So anyway, yeah, there's so many things. It would take me all day to do this. But anyway, so I don't know. I don't even remember what I was going to go with that. I just don't understand what in the world is going on with this chick. My son needs to get away from her. He has until December for the lease to be done. And what's sad is, like, he can't save up money to do anything because he's got to help pay for this stuff. And she's just wasting stuff. Like, he says he don't even eat at home anymore. He eats at work. Well, he can't eat at home anymore. He can't trust her because she freaking put Visine in his food and poisoned him. And he was very sick. And she has done it before. She even bragged to my son about doing it to her 2 children, the very first 2 children, to that man. She poisoned him too with Visine. She thought that was funny. He said that she laughed about it. And he goes, what's the matter with you? How do you think that's funny? And he goes, that's when I found out, Mom, that she was not okay. Well, this was way after his child was born with her. So he's kind of stuck there. He said he wanted to try to make things work out. But she's never going to be okay. She's not okay. Because like I said, we've tried to help her out and everything, and it's useless. There's no point in doing that, because as soon as you say something, like, they had no money to move into their apartment that they're in now, their place they're in now. So my husband and I fronted them all the money until they could pay us back with their tax refund. And we had a long talk with them. We even paid for all the stuff to move them. We bought them a fridge because they didn't have one. All the things, okay? We helped them as best we could. And, she's like, oh my God, thank you so much, and whatever. So anyway, we did all this. And then before she paid us back, before they got us paid back, she was spending money on ignorant shit, like 1980 lunch boxes, things like that off eBay, $20 a piece and stuff. And I go, why is she buying lunch boxes? I don't understand. Why is she buying all this stuff? I go, I thought you guys were trying to save money for a house. And then he confronted her about it. And she's like, haven't you ever, when you were a kid, do you remember when you were a kid and you wanted stuff and you never got to have it? And he goes, yeah. He goes, she just, didn't you have things like that? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I think all kids have that. Like, when they're growing up, they want something, but they never got to get it, kind of thing. He goes, but what are you getting at? She goes, well, I was one of them lunch boxes. She goes, if you could get something that you wanted from when you were a kid and have it today, wouldn't you? And he goes, no, because I'm in my 30s. He goes, I'm not 8 anymore, Kim. I'm in my 30s. And that was hilarious. And she goes, well, I wanted a Barney lunchbox and some other lunchbox. Really? One of them plastic shitty lunch boxes with the stupid crappy thermos in it, okay? That's what she paid $20. She bought $40 she spent. For what? For what? I bet she don't even know where they freaking are anymore. Just damn. My son goes out and buys a pot rack to hang his pots on and some contact paper that looks like brick to put on the wall so that when he hangs his pots and stuff, if it hits that, it don't mar the wall, the paint. My son spends his money on that. She bought a SpongeBob SquarePants where Squidward's looking through a porthole to look into the Krabby Patty, and she has that hanging on the kitchen wall. That's a flag, and she thinks it's just the funniest thing ever because she's 2. I mean, oh my God. My son went out and bought contact paper for a splash guard for his sink. He bought a thing for his spices. He bought, I mean, so he spends money on things to betterment of their home. She buys shit because, oh, that's so funny. Oh my God. Wow. Anyway. Yeah. It's like he's raising kids. All of them are kids. I told him, I said, you're just going to have to be the adult in the house. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I don't know what to do. I mean, I don't know how he's going to save money. I don't know how he's going to save money. I mean, he uses the food in the house to feed his kids but he doesn't want her to say, well, you've been eating my food. He don't touch any of it. That's why I told him, I said, just let the rental place take back the couch. Because just say, I'm not paying for a couch for you guys to sleep on. I mean, he can't even sit on it. Like he told me, he goes, man, I can't even I can't wake up in the morning and make myself something for breakfast and sit down and watch some TV while I'm eating my breakfast. I can't do anything like that, or just sit down and have a cup of coffee or nothing, because there's this chick just straight up sleeping on my couch in my living room. And I told him, I said, tell her ass to leave. And he goes, I can't, because Kim says that we're both paying the rent, so she has the right to have people over. But that chick ain't doing nothing. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. This poor kid. There's so much more on there. That's just that. But I told him, I was like, she ain't a mom. She sucks as a mom. She's not a good person. She sucks as a friend. She doesn't know how to be anything except for a sponge. She is the proverbial sponge. She doesn't know how to love anybody. She don't know what any of that shit is. She don't know what any of that shit is. And whenever we confronted them about that, she got all pissed off at us, at me. She was like, she messaged me on Snapchat. I'm very upset with you right now. I'm like, for what? I'm like, what did I do now? She's like, how dare you tell me what I can and can't spend my money on? I go, last time I checked, I didn't say anything about what you can and can't spend your money on. She's like, if I want to buy something, I will. Okay, I didn't say you couldn't. I just asked a question. I go, I literally just said, how are you going to save money to buy a house if you keep spending money on things you don't need? She goes, well, sometimes we need things that we want. I'm like, what? Not in that aspect. If my water was gross and I wanted to get a water filter to put on my water so that when my water came out of my spigot, it wasn't gross, that's what you need, that you want. But if I ran across some leg warmers from back in the 80s that I always wanted when I was a kid, and I thought, man, I'd like to have them. I don't need them. I want them. You get me? Oh, God. Sally, there's the mail lady. There she is. You better go see. Go see. Oh, my goodness. Well, go down there. Oh, growly. Picka, he's just like, I'm at the gate. She's something else.
Look at you. You're begging. You're setting up begging.
We've been working with her.
Can you set? You have to set. Come on, set. Good girl. Have a good day.
You too. She's ready to race.
Yeah. I got tickled. She reminds me of the other one you had.
Oh, yeah. You gonna go race?
Come on. You gonna run? You haven't been doing it this last week, though. Come on. Let's go. Come on.
Get her. Go get her. I ain't got no treats for you. She is so food motivated. She don't care about nothing else. Because, see, Picka brought his treat up here on the floor, up here. So she thinks she's going to steal it. She's obnoxious. Sally is. And she Picka. She's obnoxious, isn't she? But anyway. So, yeah. I mean. And then whenever they paid us back for stuff, because I told her, I said, you know, it's upsetting because, you know, we loaned you this money and you're supposed to pay us back, but you keep spending money on. So she was like, I'm paying you back whenever I get our taxes. I understand that, but you have to understand when somebody loans you money and it's a substantial amount of money and they spend money on you that's a substantial amount of money and everything, and you're supposed to be doing a better life for yourself so that you can become better in your life. And we have this long conversation about credit scores and paying your debts and making sure everything's paid off and not buying things you don't need over what you know that you don't need over things you do need and things like that, and trying to sacrifice to get to the bigger place and working hard towards making a better life for yourself, and which is sacrificing things. That, you know, and she's like, oh, yeah, you know, blowing smoke up your ass because she talks out both sides of her mouth. But anyway, when you do that, when you borrow all this money and then they watch you spend money on dumb shit that you don't need, like you make enough money in food stamps that there should be no reason why you going out to eat all the time, buying your kids McDonald's all the time. Why don't you just make them something to eat? Don't be lazy. Make them something to eat. And make them something to eat within reason. Like they're only going to eat like 2 or 3 chicken strips, right? So don't make the whole box of chicken strips. Just pull out what they're going to eat. But she'll make the whole box. You know what I'm saying? She's weird. She'll make an entire 5-pound bag of potatoes to make mashed potatoes for 2 people. I've watched her do this. And then throw the rest of the potatoes away after, you know, everybody's done eating. There's all these potatoes that nobody ate. She throws them away. Well, why don't you scoop them out and let them cool off, scoop them out, put them in some Ziploc bags and freeze them. Then you have some for later. Or put them in the refrigerator or make something else with it. Why throw it in the trash? But this is what I'm talking about, okay? So, but then we watched them do this, and I said, I'm not saying anything about that. I said, I know you're going to pay us back money. I said, but when you owe people money, you don't go showing your shit on Facebook and Instagram and whatever of, oh, look what I got, I got my nails done, all this. Don't do that. Don't do that when you owe people money. Don't do that, because you're just frustrating people, because it's showing them that you didn't learn nothing. You learned nothing. And I'm like, she's like, you don't know what it's like, blah, blah. I don't know what it's like. Do you not know what I've been through? Yes, she knows what I've been through, and she makes fun of me for it, by the way. She throws that back up in my face. And I will tell you this. She's also the same person that whenever my son and her first broke up, which he should have just left her, but I wouldn't have my grandson, you know, it's just that kind of thing. But anyway, when she had her friends, I use that in a loose term. She had all her friends. She was like doxing my husband and I on the internet. And instead of just shutting the shit down on Facebook, she had it publicly on Facebook where anybody could read it. And they were posting our address. And those people were like saying, you know, and she was talking about how heinous we were of people. And so there's people on there talking about how they were gonna they thought maybe that somebody that maybe they ought to make a trip out here to our house and unalive my husband, things like that. So my husband, who is a retired disabled military man with PTSD, by the way. I mean, it's not like huge bad or anything, but he has it. Well, he was afraid to leave the house for a while. Okay, so the disdain I have for this woman is deep, so deep. But hey, you know, whatever. People's like, you could have went after her or whatever. It's exhausting to deal with her. And at the time, my son was still with her, and they had the kids and stuff. I was like, it is now. Now, I would more than be happy to. I would go stay in my camper and sleep in my camper every night to give my bedroom up for my son and my grandkids so that he could come here and live with us, with my grandkids, to get them away from her. I would do that today. I'd do that yesterday, last year. I'd have done that the day that my grandson was born. I'd have done that the day we moved here. I'd have done that when my granddaughter was born. This woman is insane. I'm just gonna say that. There's no other explanation of her. She's just out there and going to be studying to be a psychologist. Are you serious? Are you serious? I don't even know what to say about that. But anyway, and telling me my son is worthless and that he is a bad person and all these things like that. It's like, holy cow. I don't know where your mirror is, but you need to look in it. I don't even know what to do with any of this. I don't know how to handle any of this. I just want my kid here. But unfortunately, in the state of Ohio, if you're not married, the mother of the children, the biological mother of the children, she gets full legal custody of the kids by default. It doesn't matter who the paternity is. My son didn't want to marry her because if he married her, it would be a problem. Now, because he didn't marry her, it's a problem. If he would have married her, he could have took his kids and left. But because he didn't marry her, now he can't take his kids and leave. Because if he takes his kids and leaves now, it's considered kidnapping. When before, he could have got emergency custody of the kids. Right now, it's a whole other ballgame. And she told him, she got in his face, she's like, I have all the rights. I'm in Ohio, I have all the rights. And I'm going, oh. And this is the girl where I sat and watched her whenever they were moving back and forth. My son and my husband, who is the disabled veteran, was moving all the stuff. She spent hours and hours and hours doing absolutely nothing. She did a lot of nothing. Like, she'd move things around, but she never did anything. She never packed a box. She never got the boxes taped. She just moved a box from one place to another. There's nothing in the boxes. And she was just like, oh my God, I need to get this stuff done. And she's like, la, 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 la. And I'm going, looking at her, going, like, you ain't doing anything. And then she left. She was so worried about herself and what she wanted to do and everything that she did not feed my grandson or granddaughter all day. Now, my granddaughter, she's old enough, she'd go in and get food out of the fridge by herself, and she did. She would go and get Go-Gurts or whatever she got. I don't remember. But anyway, she got that. But my grandson, who just turned 3, she never changed his diaper all day. I never seen her do it. I never seen her feed him anything. I never seen her give him anything to drink. He's autistic and he can't talk, but he was constantly freaking out. And she was like, she just kept telling Cody, my son, that he was freaking out because they were moving all the stuff out of his house. And he was having a meltdown because everything was changing. And in retrospect, looking back, at first I thought that as well. But looking back on it, at the end of the day, when I seen what actually happened through things, and I actually could pay attention, he was hungry, and he was thirsty, and he needed his diaper done. I mean, the meltdowns for the stuff being moved, maybe that could be, but he was hungry and he was thirsty and he needed a diaper. When we got to the new place, she left behind his diapers. She left behind his sippy cup, which is the only sippy cup that kid, if you know anything about autism, he has one sippy cup he'll use and that's it. She left that behind. And then when my son went to get him, she's like, he's thirsty, Kim. Where's his sippy cup? She goes, I don't know. And he goes, what? My son was in tears, y'all. He was like sobbing, deep belly, chest sob. So upset because she just did not care. He's like, where's his diaper? She goes, I don't even know. I don't know. And I'm like, it's all at the other place. She was like, oh my God. And he was like, can you go get it? She's, oh my God, I have to go do everything. So she gets up to leave and comes back, no diapers, no sippy cup. She brought her laptop. She was like, I had to go get my laptop for school. What? So my son was like freaking out. So him and my husband went over to the apartment and got his sippy cup, the diapers, and his blanket, and there's a bunch of shit she just left behind that belonged to my grandson, and brought it. And as soon as he gave him some water in a cup, and that kid sucked that down. He sucked down, I think, like two or three sippy cups of water, and changed his diaper, and it was sad. And I know that while she was trying to feed him at one point, he was screaming and carrying on because he was thirsty. And but he was screaming and carrying on, and she was like, she just grabbed nuggets from my granddaughter. She goes, I don't know what is wrong with you. She goes, I don't even know what to think. And she's just ripped him in shreds, like angry, and just threw him on the table. Here, shut up. And I'm like, I go, dang, Kim, what's the matter with you? And she's like, I just don't even know what he's screaming about. She goes, he's all the time screaming, and I have no idea what he's screaming about. And I'm sitting here going, that is your child. Screaming or not, when your child is a baby, they can't talk. So they have cries. And when they cry for hunger, they cry for pain, they cry for sadness, they cry for boredom, and they cry for, thirsty, whatever. They have cries, okay? They need their pants changed. They were hungry. They're tired. They're frustrated. They're just wanting to make noise. I mean, and you can tell. If you're an actual parent, you can tell. In fact, what's crazy is if a baby cries, 99% of the time, mamas, real mamas, the mamas out there like me and my mom or whoever, they hear that baby cry, they go, oh, she sounds tired, or he sounds tired, or well, that baby's hungry, or that baby's mad, I mean, we know, you can tell. Same with my grandson. He may not be able to talk to you, but he's talking. He's speaking loudly. He's letting you know. But she don't know. She doesn't know. She sucks as a mom, y'all. She ain't no mom. She's an incubator. She's an incubator. And I wouldn't even let her be a surrogate. She smokes dope too much. She smoked dope the whole time she was pregnant with my grandson. And she told my son that the doctor told her because of her extreme morning sickness and stuff that she couldn't hold food down, that it was okay that she smoked weed to help her keep her food down. I told my son, I go, there ain't a doctor on this damn planet that's going to tell her that. And if they are, they need to be disbarred. But anyway, so that's all I got for you. That's what's going on with me. That's why I haven't been doing videos. That's why I've not been able to function in a normal capacity for a minute, because my brain is constantly worried about my kid and my grandkids. Because crazy bitch. And I wish I knew something, because my son can't afford a lawyer. He can't afford nothing. It's like, And what do you do with this? What do you do with this? And I told him, I said, call social services. And he goes, but I live here too. And that's another thing. Like, he has no way of showing that he's not the dirty pig that she is. He has no way of showing, because the only way he can do that is to clean the house and keep it clean like he would. But she lives there too, so there's no point. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's a catch-22. It's a high, bad situation. So anyway, that's what's going on. And there's my puke dump for today. And here I was going to crochet. But I am going to crochet. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to crochet. And I'm going to let you guys unpack that shit. Because I've been trying to unpack it for 6, 7, 8 years now. Yeah, it's bad. I feel bad for my boy. He deserves a much better woman in his life. He does. So anyway, I'm going to get off here, you guys. You guys take care. God bless them. Be kind to one another. And just watch your kids, man. Watch your kids, because there's some crazy bitches out there. Bye now.